My goodness, that's more than 20 times the explosion of the Hiroshima bomb over Japan. This was quite a burst, and it was something like 18 miles up, was it not?
That's right. Yes. I mean, it traversed a lot of sky, and it was descending while it was, but the main explosion was between 18 and 20 miles up.
All right. What we're going to show now are some of the other videos from that event from a year ago, and both from
some of these, I don't know if you're playing the sound, but some of them are quite spectacular in the booms, the ones that are directly beneath.
And it must have taken some time for the sonic boom to arrive. As I understand, there were 1,500 injuries from broken glass, flying glass.
That's right. And of course, what happened was, you know, the bright flash in the sky and the strange cloud drew people to windows. It was early morning, people were already at work, and they started, you know, looking at the sky through the windows, and it took a couple, 2 or 3 minutes for the blast wave to get there, and it was so strong that it blew out the windows, and most of the people who were injured by flying glass.
We're now showing some pictures from, it looks like in a warehouse, of the blast blowing down a door right on top of some unfortunate people who were just exiting that door at the time. And,
and you can see, you know, where there's a structure, the pressure builds up. There's a dynamic pressure, but then that blast wave reflects off the surface, and so the pressure builds up, and there's more pressure outside than inside, and so the building, whatever the weakest part of the building is, whether it's a window or a big garage door in a warehouse, it blows in, and it blows in with a lot of force.
Now, you started your interest in this, I understand, even in childhood, when you observed the Perseid meteors, the great August 11th shower that many of us love to see. But back then, you didn't just merely count meteors. Tell us what really started you on this. What did you do during these meteor showers?
Well, as a kid, we were Boy Scouts, and we used to camp out in our backyards, and we'd do this every August, and we'd just, you know, get out of our tents and lay in the backyard and watch the sky. I grew up in Colorado, where it was usually clear in the summer, and you know, it was just very mesmerizing and magical to see these, you know, flaming dust particles traverse the sky. And then in 1972, our family happened to be taking a vacation in the Tetons, and there was this great fireball of 1972, which we didn't see. We were there, but we didn't see it, but we talked to people who did, and much later I learned that it had been recorded on one of those old Super 8 film movie cameras and had gotten shown on TV. You can find that on YouTube now.
And then you did experiments with objects flying into mud or impact?
I majored in physics, and I went off to Caltech to do my PhD research and started making craters using hypervelocity launchers and very high-speed guns to fire projectiles into targets, and looking at the effect that the high-velocity collision had on the targets, looking at the temperatures of minerals and making craters and looking at the properties of the craters that formed. And then I got a job at Sandia, and I got to keep doing similar things.
It's hard to believe you actually got paid to do what probably every boy in the world would have loved to do.
I got paid to shoot big guns and to blow things up. Now I do it all on computer. I've jumped from experimental to computational physics, which lets me do things that I can't do in the laboratory, like, you know, set off half-megaton explosions.
We're going to now show an image taken apparently in the west of a fireball going across the sky, and this is one that you've supplied, showing, in this case, it's a fireball, looks like going from right to left and either impacting or blowing up in the air in a desert-like setting.
I think I know which one you're talking about, and that's the one, that's also a simulation, and it's a simulation of that I did back in the 90s, showing what a Tunguska-like impact would be like if it happened in New Mexico and you're looking at the Sandia Mountains, you're actually looking down my driveway.
It looks like you have dark skies there.
Yeah, I see it now. And so what I was illustrating with this was a plume. So when you have a steep impact, you get this giant plume of vaporized asteroid mixed with hot air that expands into space above the point of impact. We didn't see that for Chelyabinsk, and it's because it came in at such a shallow angle. The plume formation apparently requires a steeper angle.
I see.
Oh, excuse me, may I
Yes.
just interrupt for a second? Just to let you know that we have got some images now coming in from Dubai. They are transferring over to the USA for our producer. He's going to be showing those very shortly. Now, what viewers have got to keep an eye open for